Yo, what up, though? Bringing it to the table with Antonio Brooks, Coach Brooks.
Coach Brown in the house, aka CB.
And Tamara Tucker from Saginaw County Chapter, Parents of Murdered Children.
Yeah. Y'all probably wondering why, what is going on right here? Well, this our friend Tamara.
Yes.
We got, what we gonna do coming up real soon, we got a episode, we gonna do like a panel discussion about parents of murdered children, parents with children that have been taken away by violence or gang violence or gun violence.
Any kind of homicide, period.
Yes, homicide.
Yes.
Death by homicide.
Because what they say, a parent is not supposed to be the one to bury their child, you know.
I agree.
And what we need to do as a village is address what's happening in our community more and address it with some serious authority about the way that we raising our kids. You know what I mean? So the thing is, it's about accountability as parents.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's not about nobody doing no blaming, pointing no fingers or none of that. It's just about us as parents saying, you know what? When we was coming up in our era, we would get a whooping. Our neighbor, our mama, somebody would you know step in if they came outside and seen us acting out of sorts. Nowadays, we scared to talk to the kids about running in the streets.
It's not necessarily that, and we want to go from the part of disciplining.
Yeah.
Disciplining doesn't always mean hitting, because I'm against the corporal punishment on children.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. They know what I mean.
Getting back to discipline in our families.
So hold on, wait a minute. So you believe when you the corporal punishment, which is discipline, whether with a spanking, a belt.
That's punishment.
And you think, all right, let me ask you this then. Do you think they got a lot to do with a child growing up to be violent themselves?
Absolutely. Because at what point will I be absolutely tired of mom or dad hitting me? And what happens next?
Right.
I'm going to retaliate. And we about to knuckle up. Seriously. Because I'm not going to take no more. If you hitting me like that,
right.
I respect. You know, and there's a level of respect. We have to respect our children enough to be able to sit them down and talk to them.
So, Brooks, do you think when we was coming up, because we got whooped, you think they got a lot to do with it? We was outside looking and waiting on the fight? Not all the time, but at times that we grew up in a fighting era without guns.
I think I'm on the fence.
Okay.
When it comes to that, because I feel the same way. I stopped whooping my kids at a certain age.
I agree.
But
I did the same thing.
because after a while it felt like bullying. I don't want my kids scared of me.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then you gotta, when you think about it and you do your research and your slavery, whooping stems from the word whipping.
Yeah.
Right.
Stems from white men whipping grown black men and beating them into submission.
Right.
And taking out all of their courage and turning them into what we call a cur. You know how when you cur out a pit bull, dog, you ain't no good no more. You ain't got no courage.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like after a while, you got to start using verbal communication, bro.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay.
Having a daughter, do you want her to know what it feels like to be hit by a man?
Now, since you put it that way, I never looked at it that way. And my oldest daughter, see, I was lacking in her life when she was growing up. And then I wanted to make a difference in the twins' life. They're 11 now, so I don't really, I don't whoop them any kind of way. What I do with them is take what they like, whether it's a cell phone or they can't go outside and play, you know, things of that nature that you get their attention by.
Absolutely.
So I do understand. I never looked at it the way you just put it. Do I want my daughter to be hit by a man?
No. That's wonderful. This is a wonderful topic. No, you don't. So say we kind of getting a little bit farther away from what we really was just talking about. But that's something totally relevant to the topic. Cause say you find your daughter online or on the internet doing something inappropriate.
Right.
Would you rather be the one to discipline her that way than her getting caught up doing something that she probably can't take back or can't reverse?
So, hold on.
Okay.
I want you to hold that thought, and I'm gonna just say this. Wait a minute, and you don't gotta answer until you're done. I just want to bring it up before I forget. After you done saying what you was finna say, I want you to tell us and give us some good ways that you use to discipline your children other than corporal punishment.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so there has been several times that I've had to step in and intervene with parents. Yes, you are at your wit's end. That's the worst thing a parent want is for their daughter to have a bad name. I had to deal with that. But you know what I did? I had you again, there's pieces in our parenting that we didn't know that we needed that was essential for our children. They will show us by their actions, and that's what happens. And so that's when we lean in for our daughters and teach them and ask them what it is that they need from us.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
Was that pertaining to what you was gonna say also?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, what happened?
That's good sound advice. Nothing. But so check it out. With your boys, we in the household. We just gonna throw a scenario out there. We in the house. Like how we sitting here doing what we doing right now.
Right.
You know, something very productive, something that we minding our business that children ain't around.
Right.
But children in the house, they might be in the basement. So you got a 14-year-old, 15-year-old with their friends downstairs listening to some music and they down there bopping, talking, whatever. We don't know that they talking about the ops. You know what I'm saying? And the next little dude that knock on the door, he coming over there with the mop sticks and the clips and all types of things. And they down there, they finna take your shorty out with them to go retaliate on some guys that we have no idea that they even beefing with. You know what I'm saying?
I can understand that probably most likely does occur.
Okay.
But if you know your child and you know how you raise your child, you're going to raise them strong enough here to say, no, I'm not into that. I'm not going to do that. That's not what I'm about. They have to be strong enough to be able to stand up and say that verbally. And then plus, your friends. You know what kind of friends the degree of friends you want. You usually attract the people that you are most like or want to be like.
I agree.
That's true.
So basically what you saying is pertaining to what he's saying is the friends that your children keep, that our children, because we all got children, the friends that our children keeps around them, we can determine on the direction our children is headed in.
Absolutely.
So if they're around disrespectful, which I'm not going to allow that no way.
Absolutely.
If they're around disrespectful peers of their age, then we got to step in and let them know, hey, your friend such and such, that ain't a good look for you. You don't need to be around him.
I've found out in the past,
Right.
the more you tell the child, no, I don't quite like them, the more they want to hang
And
around.
gravitate.
Yeah, so me being the mother that I
Okay.
am, I had to
Educated.
learn to pray my children's friends away, the ones that they thought was their friends. And the way I did that was I would ask God to reveal to them their true nature.
So you're a praying mother.
Oh, absolutely, I have to be.
And you think that that is a valuable, probably one of the main, the most valuable asset to being a parent, praying for your child?
For me, yes, I wasn't always in church. I'm not, but I knew that there was something that was missing in my children's life,
Right.
in my family, in my home life. And so once I got to where I wanted the word of God and really study God for myself, because I knew God from the church I went to with my mother.
Right.
I knew God from the church I went to with my dad, but I had to learn God for myself. And once I learned God for myself, that was a whole nother understanding and dynamic that I was able to bring.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And me as a man, I'm always searching for truth. So when it came to church, I went. My grandma, she wasn't blind. I would go, when she would make me. But it got to the point where, you don't want to take somebody to church that don't really want to be there all the time. So I stopped going a lot. But at the same time, I started reading into the Bible and getting off into the other, like the Hebrew Israelites, the Muslims, all the different things, all the different beliefs. And I was taking bits and pieces from them. You know what I mean? But it got to the point where I started seeing a lot of the contradictions, and it kind of threw me. So I stopped being so adamant on going to church a lot. Okay. But at the same time, I do believe that we do still have that high power, and we got to respect that. We got a high power that's greater than ourselves. All of us do, and we should always, pay homage to that. But it's just so much misleading information out there that it's hard to, if you don't really know about yourself, you don't really want to teach your kids something that you really ain't 100% on. You know what I'm saying?
But concerning me though, with what I believe in, and I believe what I believe in doesn't affect the relationship that I have with others. I believe in
Absolutely.
The God of the Bible, which when you do research, that Bible is not even mentioned in the Bible. So I would say the Most High, the Holy Scriptures. Mm-hmm. That's what I believe in. But at the same time, I'm not going to disrespect anyone else that don't believe in what I believe in.
Absolutely.
And I let my children, I want to watch this. I ask my children, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that concerning their life or concerning where they're headed in school and education wise? I want to include their input to prepare them, to get them ready for adulthood.
Absolutely.
So.
And that's one of the things that we talk about. We prepare them for life, because you're a child for such a short time, but you're an adult forever.
For the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
So, okay, to real quick to jump back in about the organization. What type of resources or how has that organization helped you and your family?
Grief, support. We're not counselors or anything. We're parents that's growing through this pain and of the situation that we have, which is we lost our children due to homicide.
Okay.
So would you say also that being together in that organization that you all iron sharp iron, you all strengthen each other?
Absolutely, we do. Until you have to live through something like this, you won't be able to. You will not identify with someone. You guys can identify with me, but until you
don't feel what you're doing.
Yes, absolutely.
And nobody should ever pretend to.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot pretend to. The only thing you should be able to do is just say that, I don't know what you're going through, but empathize as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Don't judge. Don't make no assumptions. Mm-hmm. Real quick, that hospital right there, St. Mary's. I had a lady had called me one night about a situation.
Right.
And she was telling me how her son, he was like 17, just graduated. They live in a nice city. They up here visiting. They in Birch Park or something like that, visiting some family. Some guys tried to rob him. He didn't want to give it up. They shot him like 10 times. He ended up in the hospital, paralyzed him. After a few days, the doctor come in and said some stuff like, well, unfortunately, when you live in this type of lifestyle, this is what happens.
What's the wrong thing?
He said that to this kid. This kid ain't like that.
A lot of times people are so insensitive to what they're saying. They're on the outside looking in, and that was one of the. Had she corrected him at that time,
I'm sure she did.
It would not have been pretty. You never know what situation you or your children can wind up in. Mm-hmm. So your best bet is to just keep praying for. So
I'm gonna tell you why he said it. I'm gonna tell you exactly why he said it. Because it was a child. He was mixed. He black. Long braids and all of this. Mm-hmm. And the area that the hospital was in.
Right.
The look of a person does not determine.
That's the prejudice. That's the prejudging of. That's your intention of coming here to this hospital is not to help people.
So
it's to get paid.
if I would have heard him say that,
Mm-hmm.
my thoughts would have been, are you giving my child the best possible treatment that you can?
That's when you know that they're not.
Absolutely.
When they telling you,
Absolutely.
unfortunately, this would happen to them. This is a casualty of the lifestyle that these, basically whatever he had in his head, probably thought he was a thug. He probably had way worse words to describe him inside his head.
Right.
This child somewhere finna go to college. He had a job and he was,
it doesn't
living his life.
matter. You're not giving. You have to. There's an oath that they supposed to. They recite this, so
the Hippocratic oath.
Yeah, that was. I'm pretty sure that one covered under that oath.
Yeah.
So diversity training should have been put in place for him.
Yeah, but that's that just goes to show that's how they look at us, and I just want to be able to start addressing those type of issues and start breaking that cycle as a village again.
Absolutely.
Like we have to start making these kids respect us and each other again.
Absolutely.
We have to start respecting them kids again too, though.
Yeah,
because you twerking on Instagram and Facebook with some daughters and your granddaughters, and you passing weed to your sons and all of that as a father. No, man, it's time to change that narrative again, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I see children walk around sagging, then when I see their father or the male influence in their life, and some of these women doing it, I'm like, okay, I see where you get it from.
Just because they're doing that doesn't mean that
I agree.
The life that, they could be a 5.0 student.
Right.
That's what they choose to be. But if they twerking, okay, they like the music.
But what do you attract when you do that? What energy are you sending out?
People need to keep their hands to themselves and their intentions or thoughts. Just because the kids, that's one thing about the newer generation, the young people. Right. They're going to have fun. However they have fun.
Right.
It's the older people that are judging, but we used to be in that mindset. So teaching and training is going to show them a better way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when you hit a certain age, you get judgmental. It's just inevitable. Whenever you become of a higher consciousness, every time you have a thought about something that's less, that you feel like maybe is a lesser action than regular or than it should be, you're going to have a judgmental thought, but that don't mean that you're judging the person. It's going to come It's going to come across that way. It's just like, damn, why you do that? Damn, why she doing that? That's so stupid. But like you just said, we did the same stuff. We was the same way when we was kids. So but at that time, we didn't have nobody right here at that level of consciousness to say stop doing that.
Right.
That wasn't judgmental.
That wasn't
so you have to put yourself into their
shoes.
Put yourself in that place. What would you have said to you at that age if it was you? Right. That's the mindset that we need to have when we come to these children and talk to them. And they don't want you to sugarcoat.
How would you discipline you?
Yeah, they don't want you sugarcoating. You gotta. What do they say? Be real. They want you to be real.
Be real.
So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we just basically want to touch on. Now you know who Tamara is and what she do and how she assists the community in that area of parents who have lost their children. And also, I believe
I'm glad you guys are saying parents, because everybody get it mixed up and say mothers. No, this is for fathers as well.
Oh yeah, I got a couple
maybe we could bring a few more fathers in.
Absolutely.
Because how men, they want to show that weak side of them. But you gotta grieve properly. You gotta grieve properly, man. Get it out. Quit holding all that in.
Absolutely.
And that's where you all come in at. To help them, assist them, because I can't assist them. That's why I'm reaching out to you.
Absolutely.
And Stacy, she isn't here tonight, but Lord's willing, you'll meet her down the line. But I'm reaching out to them because I spoke with Coach Brooks about this. Man, I don't know anything about helping no one grieve properly over a lost child, and I said, let's reach out to our friends we grew up with.
Absolutely,
You know,
it's grief support. You know, we can bring in other entities if needed, like a social worker or a therapist, but we're grief support.
And we already got that coming too. That's on the floor too. So like I said, we got it's gonna be like a forum, sort of like a panel. We're gonna have we're gonna have professional licensed therapists. We're gonna have other parents that are in the same situation, unfortunately. But at the same time, we need to start opening up that dialogue. Like I said once again, because we so desensitized to it that when it happened, we let it go.
It's not that we let it go, like the shootings on Saturday, that's re-traumatizing to me. It's me reliving everything all over again. And then me grieving for the other families that now have to live with what I'm living with. So
how did it make you feel when you heard about that this past Saturday?
I cried for the faces that I did not see of those parents. Because I know what it's like. I know that pain, that anguish, and you can't cry deep enough. You can't, I can't even explain it. It's so unexplainable to the point where you just scream and yell because that pain is that intense.
Right.
And it's not going to go nowhere.
Nah.
It's not. And
so, go ahead. I didn't know.
But speaking to that incident, I want to say that, we talk and we say a lot of stuff about that party, which is nothing like judgmental towards the people that threw it, nothing judgmental towards the people that went. It's just, I hate the fact that our youth, every time we try to do something happens like this. Tragic. That's tragedy. But I want to send my heartfelt condolences to those who lost their lives, the family members of them, the ones that's hurt, the ones that's in the hospital. May the Most High get you up out that hospital bed and walk you out that door so your family can put their arms around you. That's sincere from the bottom of my heart. Guys, we got to do better.
We got to do better. We gotta learn to have a good time without the violence.
Absolutely.
We and maybe I'm offering my services to the community. If you need assistance in learning how to socialize with people, coming out the box, doing something you normally don't do, even though someone different from you or you feel they live somewhere else, and it's not on the grounds of hurting or harming anyone else. It's about if you're going to get together and celebrate graduation or weddings or all these things that people love to celebrate, we got to learn how to do this in a social manner without the violence.
Just to piggyback off that, brother, we do have people that lack certain life skills because we be so introverted sometimes that we can't even ride down the street without looking somebody up and down and mean mugging them, thinking that they want to do something to us, so we look like we want to do something to them, and it's just a never-ending cycle. But the thing is too with that, bro, is hurt people, man. Like it's something that happened in our lives somewhere way back
that you are constantly protecting yourself.
Yes.
So we have to come to a collective collaboration or agreement on making sure that our community is safe for us, for our grandchildren, and whomever that want to come into the city of Saginaw. It's not about, people are terrified of the city of Saginaw. Oh, you going in the city? Yeah. Oh, you live in the city? No, what's wrong with the city?
Right.
So no, when it's, the violence is most times targeted.
Let's make Saginaw great again. Let's make Saginaw great again. I remember Saginaw was a great city. People was coming all from the south.
Again, we want this place to be amazing to live in.
Amazing.
We're the newer generation, so we up and coming, and we want.
Let's bring this city up to code.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're gonna live here, ain't no sense in you not being able to enjoy where you living at. everybody got kids, man. So like, you should want your child to be able to ride their bike down the street, go outside, be able to walk to the store, you know, without you having to worry about, oh, is somebody out there shooting, or is they out there fighting, is somebody out there messing with my baby?
Reckless driving.
All of that. Yeah. You know, it's just we got to do better. That's just bottom line, man.
You know.
Bottom line.
Well, it's been a great session.
Absolutely.
We want to thank Tamara again for coming on the show. And you know, we looking forward to collaborating with you in the future.
So,
and also, people who are experiencing loss of a child, please reach out and contact Tamara.
We have a Facebook page.
And
what is it?
let them know.
Saginaw County Chapter Parents of Murdered Children.
Okay.
Yeah.
Saginaw
Yeah. Just reach out.
Saginaw County Chapter Parents of Murdered Children.
Murdered children.
If you need help with grief counseling, if you just want to talk, if you just need somebody to feel your pain and just reach out to, go to that.
I've had phone calls where parents will call me and they'll cry, and I will sit there. I don't care if you call me and I need to get up and come to your house at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you need that, I'm there. Yes, and it's not just me. There's a team of us.
I just got chills because I believe her, because that's the way I am. It's something about what God doing to us as people, guiding our footsteps and guiding our paths to keep crossing with people. It's almost scary. You cannot not walk in your purpose when you being guided and led that way. Everybody can't do this. This ain't just something that we just decided to get up and do. This is for real. So like, it's people out there that really need those services, our services.
Yes.
You know,
please don't hesitate.
Yeah, don't hesitate, because it's real. It's for real. You know?
And what's so great about this right now is that not only because of friendship, but we also connected because we all do groups at Tri Camp. Also, we're trying to help those that's there that attend the groups make better choices in life, move forward after the negative choices that they chose in life, not to beat themselves up, but from this point forward to move forward and get the right resources and connect with the right positive relationships. And a lot of times in moving forward, negative people, places, and things that's toxic to your recovery, we have to remove ourselves from them places.
Definitely. Definitely. But yo, it's been one, man. I appreciate the sit down time, the talk time, the smiles, the laughs. It's always a joy, brother, sister.